Alright, so we have been given this pseudocode, and then we have been asked to draw the corresponding flowchart. So to begin with, the program below is given in form of a pseudocode, and then the question says draw the corresponding flowchart. So to begin with, notice that we have start here. So here, to start drawing the diagram, you're going to say you're going to draw an oval shape like that, and then inside that oval shape you light start like that. So you are done with this start, and then we move on to this next step, which says enter length, like that. So enter length, enter is associated with a parallelogram, like that. So input and output, these are associated with a parallelogram. So whenever you see enter, it's associated with a parallelogram, which is enter, which is an input, and then even display or display is an out. Enter is an input, display is an output. All these are associated with a parallelogram, like that. So here it says enter length. So we are going to draw an arrow going down like that, and then you draw a parallelogram like that, and then inside this parallelogram you light enter. So if you can see, it says enter length, like that. So I'm not going to light enter length, I'm going to light enter L, like that. So we are done with this step. So let's move on to this next step, to this step. So here it says if length is less than 0, then. So here you see that if length, so whenever you see if, you're supposed to, it means that there is a decision that is going on. So the shape for a decision is a rhombus, like that. So a rhombus is a shape for a decision, so you're supposed to draw a rhombus whenever you see if. So where there is if here, the key term here is if. So where is there is if here, you're supposed to draw a rhombus like that, which looks like a diamond, and then inside, instead of saying if length is less than 0, you're going to say you're going to ask a question, is L less than 0, like that. So notice that we have then here, then. So whenever you see then, you're supposed to draw an arrow like that, and then on top of this arrow you light yes, like that. After lighting like this, here notice that here it says display error message, cause length must be positive. So display, again here you see this key term, which is a display. We have display here. So display, the shape for display, are going to draw a parallelogram like that, and then inside this parallelogram we light whatever we see here. So we're going to say display error message, and then light length must be positive, like that. So we are done with this step. We move on to this step right here. So here, notice it says else enter height. So whenever you see else here, you draw an arrow going down like that, and then next to this arrow you say no. So else is associated with no, like that. So whenever you see else, you light no next to this arrow, like that. So else enter height. So here again says enter, and then remember we said the shape for enter or for an input or output is a parallelogram like that. So here you draw a parallelogram like that. Yeah, pardon my drawing. So you draw a program, and then inside this parallelogram you say enter h. Instead of lighting enter h, just say enter h like that. So that's how you can enter this. So this, we're done with this step, so we move on to this step like that. So here again you see it says if, and remember we said if is a decision. So whenever you see if, you draw an arrow going down like that, and then you draw a shape for a decision, which is a rhombus like that. So it says if height is less than 0. So instead of lighting if height is less than 0, inside here you light is h less than 0 like that. So that's how you can enter this. Then notice that here it says then. It says then like that. So whenever you see then, you draw an arrow going like that, and then on top of that arrow you say yes. Okay, yeah, so that's how you can enter this step. So we move on to this next step, which says display error message. Display error message height must be positive like that. So display, remember display we said it is an output, and an output is associated with a parallelogram. So you draw a parallelogram like that. After drawing this parallelogram, and then you copy everything you see here. So it says display error message height must be positive. Display error message because height must be positive. So you light whatever you see there. So display error message display error message length sorry, height must be positive like that. Okay, so we're done with this step here, and then we move on to this next step, which says else volume is equal to 1/3 multiplied by length raised to the power 3 multiplied by height like that. So how can you enter this? So here notice that we have else, and then remember what we said here, else is associated with no. So here you're supposed to draw an arrow like that going down there, and then next to this arrow you say no like that. So volume is equal to, so here notice that we have a formula again here where it says volume. So here notice that we have a formula which says volume is equal to 1/3 multiplied by length raised to the power 3 times height. So what you are supposed to do with this formula is that you are supposed, so whenever you have been given a formula, you are supposed to draw a rectangle. So a rectangle, so this formula is going to be processed. So you're supposed to draw a rectangle like that, and then inside this rectangle you say V. So V is for volume, and then you light this. You're going to say volume is equal to 1/3 multiplied, so 1/3 multiplied by length. So length we're just going to light multiplied by, I'm going to light a star like that, and then you say L raised to the power 3. So here which is raised to the power 3, and then we have multiplied by height. So I'm going to light a star like that, and then you say H like that. Okay, so here again says, so we're done with this step. Let's move on to this step which said end if. I'm just going to ignore this, we said end if, and then you come here to display volume. So display volume, remember what you said about display. Display is associated with a parallelogram. So display, you're going to draw a parallelogram like that, and then inside this parallelogram we're going to say display volume, like that. Okay, so again, so the last step says stop. So that's the last step. So stop and start are associated with an oval shape. Okay, so stop, we're going to let's stop here and draw an oval shape like that. So whenever you see stop, it's associated with an oval shape, and then start is also associated with an oval shape like that. So that's how you can draw the corresponding flowchart when you have been given this kind of pseudocode like that. So thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe.